The tree is up, the lights are on, and it is time to make a Christmas cake. I'm going to do one in a little bit of a different style where I'll bake it, smash it up, and turn them into Christmas cake chocolate rum balls. So I'm pretty excited by that. We need to start the recipe now, the night before. We're going to get a bunch of dried fruits and put that into a rum bath, of course. So let's step into my kitchen and get that started. Okay, so a bit of false advertising. We're not in my kitchen, but kitchen's not ready. So we'll do it here. I have the whole bunch of dried fruit. Now, the recipe I'm using for the Christmas cake is by Ben Shewry, the esteemed chef for Attica. I'm sorry if I really fudged that last name, Ben. It's just that you and I are not close. Not that we can't be. So if you somehow one day stumble upon this video, never. So Ben's got this recipe for Christmas cake that you can Google, and it's intense and epic. I've made it before. It was delicious. I did leave it as a Christmas cake to eat. But today we're going to turn it into the rum balls. So I read the recipe once just earlier to get the shopping list in order. I can't quite remember the measurements anymore. And I'm using my phone to film, so I can't check. So this is going to be a little bit off the cuff. I've got some sultanas. Maybe that much. Got some cranberries. Maybe that much. Dried cherries. Now, they weren't in the original recipe, but it sounds good. Dried cherries. Who doesn't love cherries? And I think that much. Okay. What else did Ben want? He wanted some kwandongs, which are some kind of native Australian fruit, of which I have no access to easily at 10:30 at night. But he did say you can use dried apricots instead. So I have these. I'm not really a fan of dried apricots. So we might not use the amount that Ben recommended, which I don't know. I need to chop these up, so I'll chop them up and add them in. Maybe so nice. They smell nice. Maybe like that much. I think you'd approve of that. Raisins, which are different to sultanas. I'll need to find out in what way that they are. From appearances, the raisins do appear to be slightly larger. I think we need about this much. And the last thing is currants. I didn't know that we had such differences between currants, raisins, and sultanas, but when you start making Christmas cake, you do see the difference. So currants are tiny, little bitty little raisins, and they're a lot more tart. These are actually wonderful, so we'll have a lot of these. Does that seem like a good amount? Yeah, I think so. Okay. I think Ben would approve of that. And he did say a can of crushed pineapples. I'm actually drowning in cans of pineapples because a friend of mine told me they make great sorbets. So I have these lying around. This one's crushed. let's get that in there. I don't think we really need to mix them. We'll just level it off. And then the most important part, which is a bath of rum. Mount Gay is what I have at home. Mount Gay is an excellent rum. Gotta love it. Any rum will do though, just not Bacardi. I think it's the wrong flavour profile. Not sure it has a flavour profile, the white Bacardi. And I think about this much. Oops. That seems like quite a bit. Yeah. That's okay. Whatever's left over, we can make into something, I'm sure. All right, so we'll let that soak for however long it takes for me to start filming the actual cake making recipe the next day, and I will see you then. Good night. Good morning, beautiful people. It is a gorgeous sunny day in Melbourne, Australia, and I am getting ready to do part 2 of the Christmas cake chocolate rum balls. I've softened the butter, and it's quite a warm day today in Melbourne, so it's starting to melt a little bit, so we're going to get this going pretty quick, I hope. I've once again wrangled my little egg beating action. So we need 250 grams of softened butter, which I'll pop in here. Oh. And it is very soft. That's okay, because we're going to whip it all together with some brown sugar. And we need 270 grams of this good stuff. So let's get this happening. Perfect. I'll take this away. And while we're at it, we're going to use a nice big splash of grape vanilla essence. This is my favorite, Hey Lala, and it is a New Zealand brand that I actually found from this Ben Shewry Christmas cake recipe. That's where I first came across it. Looking for a pale consistency, which won't take as long as you might think. I'm just going to wipe down the sides. I didn't bring a spatula out because we are just winging it today. I'm going for speed. Okay, so it's pale. It's brown sugar, so it won't be super pale, but that's kind of what we're going for. Let's get that out. And then we're going to mix in all the wet ingredients. So I will go and prep that and bring them over to my tiny little table out in the garden. It's such a nice day today. I'm really happy to be outside and be cooking for you guys. It is windy, so let's hope these little fluffy bits on the mic hold up. We shall see, won't we? Okay. All right, let's get the other wet ingredients. So with the vanilla essence, this is probably about a tablespoon's left. So I'll pop that in there. Okay, I'm back with 4 eggs. I spoke too soon, I still need to do some beating. We are going to mix this in one at a time. So let's get going. Just on low speed. There goes one. Honestly, why don't we just do 2 at a time? Ben won't mind. Lovely. Okay, so they're just mixed through. I really should get a spatula. Maybe excuse me while I do that. Maybe not. All right, so let's scrape that down, and then we are going to grab a tea towel. Hello, so I've got my spatula. Look, it's so cute, it's a mini spatula. And my tea towel, so I'll be able to not waste any of this great whipped butter, sugar, and now eggs. It's that time of year when things should be winding down, but it does feel like they need to speed up a little bit before we all break and peel away for the year. Certainly feels like that to me, which is why coming outside to do some cooking is actually quite relaxing for me. So I'm really glad you can join me on this. Some citrus peel. Okay, so what we've got here is a washed orange and lemon. So that's going to be lovely. Let's do some scraping. Just going to go round and round and lightly. We don't want too much of the white part, which is the bitter part. And all the essential oils of the fruit are in this peel layer, which is what gives it that beautiful scent. It smells gorgeous. I love orange peel. I actually really like Earl Grey. What's that fruit called? Is it bergamot or bergamot? Does it have that kind of French pronunciation? I can't believe I don't know. Do you? Somebody tell me. Bergamot's bergamot. But I never really used to like Earl Grey tea. I thought it was an aberration on the English breakfast. But after a while, I came to really love it. To the point where it's probably my go-to cuppa now, an Earl Grey. Sacrilegious, I know. I'm a big tea drinker. What I tend to do though is make cups, drink half of them and forget that I had one and start another one. The house or the office ends up littered. I am trying my very best to improve that bad habit of mine. So I've started using a thermos. I'm quite bonded with my little thermos now. That's what I want to drink out of for hot drinks. Okay, so there we have it. Let's get that into our Christmas cake bowl. Lovely. Wet ingredient 1, 2. Ben would like us to use 40 grams of your favorite marmalade. I love marmalade. When I grew up as a kid, I oddly really loved it when the toast was cool, so the butter wouldn't really melt, and I would have my cold marmalade on my cold butter on my cold toast, and I love that combo. And I think it's because It's a little bit like a cheesecake going on. You've got like a citrusy fattiness on a carb. So has that kind of vibe, or a lemon tart vibe. Don't knock it till you try it. All right, that's great. I still like marmalade, I just don't eat it often. So I'm glad that I can put some to good use today. And we are going to get the fruit, all the dried fruit that's been having a good bath in rum. So let me grab that and get that happening. Super windy today. Okay, I'm back, and I brought my knife because remember last night I put in some whole dried apricots which weren't chopped up, so they need to get processed along the way. Sorry guys, you won't be able to stay whole. I'm going to show you what's happened to this fruit. It's oh, sorry about that. A rum came out. Should we try that again in case I cut it? But I don't know whether I will cut it. Ooh, ooh, ooh. This fruit has had a beautiful overnight bath in Mount Gay rum, and only the finest will do for my Christmas cake. It's a nice rum. Smells so good, my word. And we have sultanas and raisins and currants, dried cherries, as well as apricots, a can of crushed pineapple, and cranberries in this mixture. I think that I probably have a lot more dried fruit than Ben's recipe called for. So I'll see how I go about packing that in, and we'll just play it by ear, as usual. Okay, so my task is to uncover these giant apricots, the whole ones, and get them chopped up, and have a bit of a yarn with you while I do that. Christmas time, Christmas time. We're at the end of the year, and what do we like to do? Well, when the year closes, I tend to be quite self-reflective, introspective, and I can't help but do the walk of how the year has gone and how I've grown or how I've changed, and just what's happened, taking a little bit of a stock take. It's not quite the close of 2024, so I still have another month to do things, make changes, run experiments before I say, well, what a wild ride 2024 was. I'm really happy to be here right now, outside in my garden, making Christmas cake with you. There's nowhere else I'd rather be right now than having a chance to chill out and do something I love. I've had a lot of moments that were very challenging, very trying throughout the year, and I've been quite lucky in that I've been able to get good perspective from a few different people who have shared their thoughts and their wisdoms. I've been able to take that feedback on and learn and grow. Wow, that's a lot of apricots. Okay, look at this gorgeous fruit. I'll just get these chopped up in a kind of as efficient way as possible. I was very slow in my last recipe with the peaches, so let's see if I can improve on that, okay? Something that the North Americans have as a theme for Christmas time is going around and, is it Thanksgiving? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, I don't know this very well. But I really like that practice they do of going around the table and asking everyone, what are you grateful for? What are you thankful for? I was once at somebody's Christmas time shindig, and they kicked that off around the table. I thought, oh, this is nice. That's lovely. So how about we do that together? This is not planned. So let me have a think, okay? Might pick one or two things, and it would be nice if you did the same with me. This can be our little Christmassy thingy that we're doing together. The first thing I'm grateful for is getting chances to try, experiment, fail, learn from that feedback, get back up and go again. And I think giving myself that permission that you don't have to get it right the first time, you don't have to be perfect. It's okay to not know, it's okay to ask for help, it's quite all right, and everybody has been here before at some point. Just go through the process, back yourself, and see it as see everything that's hard as an opportunity to grow, because it does seem like everything that is good isn't easy to get. So I'm pretty grateful for that, either as a life lesson or something that I've had the opportunity to go through a lot of times this year. And yeah, I feel certainly a lot stronger, a lot more wiser, and it's been awesome to learn more about myself through the process. The other thing I am grateful for this year is being able to see people around me in my life thrive and flourish and come out to play. I'm a big fan of people being able to be their best, and I always feel really happy if I can be a small part of that, of helping them thrive. So grateful for that. So what's yours? Have you thought of it yet? Mine were a little deep. I can throw in a more cervical one. That's how you pronounce it. More shallow one. Grateful that there's so much endless things to try in terms of food and recipes and how globally connected we are. It's just, you're never going to run out of things to cook and eat, which is pretty good. All right, hands have gotten really sticky. What should we do? Should we wipe them, wash them? Where's my tea towel? Let's give it a wipe. Rummy, raisiny hands. Oh, I really love rum and raisin ice cream. I think it's a fantastic flavor. And with the leftover fruit, I might actually make Christmas rum and raisin ice cream. That sounds pretty amazing. So let's see how we go. Okay, let's get this mixed in. I'm going to, I think we'll use all these apricots. I need to look up what kwandongs are, the native fruit that Ben wanted us to use in this recipe. It must make a really nice dried fruit. But have you heard of kwandongs? I think they're from Queensland. If anybody knows what they are or has tried them, please let me know. I'm so curious. They have a cute name, kwandong. Okay, so let's whack that in there. And we'll stir it through in my job easier. All right. There is so much good fruit in here. Ooh! The cranberries have become little rubies, all plump and glistening. I do feel like that is a really good amount, and I might reserve the rest for my ice cream or some other recipe. I don't even know whether this is maybe a bit too OTT, but that's all right. That's all right. Let's see how we go. So I'm going to switch to my spoon now because this mini spatula is just not cutting it. Sorry, mate. We'll get you out later. Let's bring in the big guns and give this a good mix. As you can see, I'm pretty laissez-faire when it comes to baking, and it is one of the reasons why I'm not a good baker. I believe that this line of cooking requires a lot of precision and exact measurements, where I'm a big wing it person. So when it comes to cooking anyways, what I might do, apricot there, is get on with the dry ingredients now. So that's our Christmas cake wet ingredients ready to go. Now let's get the flour and all that, all the spices happening as well. So I'll go and set that up. Oh, goodness, I'm not even sure now that I'll have a bowl big enough for this outrageous creation. I might have to make two. Are we back? Okay, we're back. So we need 420 grams of flour, sifted with some spices, and I'll go through what those are in just a moment. Getting there. Okay. Great. Might do so much wet ingredients. Okay. My firm belief is you can do whatever you want when it comes to cooking. And Ben calls for nutmeg, cinnamon, and allspice. But honestly, you just do you. I was thinking about cardamom. I might do that one day actually. So, nice good dash of, and even dried ginger might be nice. all these things to try. All these things to try. Okay. Did you know that allspice is actually not all spices, but a fruit or something in and of its own? This is not something I realized until I was looking up what is allspice. Is it really necessary? Do I have the spices to make allspice? Nutmeg. Nutmeg's an interesting one. It has a really peculiar smell some people love. I better go a bit heavier because I've got so much to combat. So much fruit and rum. Just not sure anything's going to cut through. All right, I'll calm down. And then we've got cinnamon. Yay! Cinnamon! It's Christmas! All right. So let's sift that. Oh, it smells nice. Do you like cinnamon? I do. I really love fruit toast. Okay. One of my agendas is to keep my clothes clean during these cooking episodes. It's just for fun, if I can manage it. Well, see how I go. Just don't want to have to get the apron out. You know, I do have some, but I can't be bothered. Can you? No, I didn't think so either. Who wears aprons? Well-managed, clean people wear aprons. Hectic, chaotic, messy cooks do not. So I'm looking at what I've created and I can see that it's not going to fit into one bowl. So what I'm going to do is get my giant crock pot thing and mix it in there before an accident happens. So I'll be right back. Crock pot Dutch oven thing happening. Going to put the wet ingredients in. Oh! Okay. Fantastic. That smells so good. It smells like Christmas. It's just amazing. All this rummy, candied, macerated fruit, dried fruit. And then we're going to mix in our dry ingredients. So it's a bit windy. I need to be careful. I'll put in half for now. And then we will stir it through. Ah, I'm so happy I got this crock pot out. I have all the space in the world and none of it is going on my t-shirt. So that's good news. Normally when you make Christmas cake, you should be starting it maybe 6 weeks before you plan to eat it on Christmas Day, I guess. So it's cooked and then you feed it more scotch or whiskey, rum, your poison of choice, every week until it's slicing time. So instead though, what I'm going to do is just supercharge it with rum. I'm sure it's going to have the same effect. Nice boozy Christmas cake for my rum balls. You saw how much rum went in. I've been generous. And that is I think it's a personality trait of mine. To give. All right. Flour part 2. Oh my goodness. Speaking of part 2s, yesterday I went to the gym for leg day part 1. And today I've got to work up the motivation to go for leg day part 2. And I just find it much easier to tackle things when you can break it down into smaller chunks. And I don't know about you, but leg day's a killer. I've been doing I've been doing deficit lunges where you step up on like 3-inch plate and then you lunge backwards as deep as you can, hold it, come back up. It's a humbling exercise because body weight is enough. You can hold a little dumbbell, which I do as well, and yeah, give that a go. I'm liking it though. I like those exercises where you can't actually use a lot of weight because it's so challenging, and they're the opposite of ego lifting, which I may have done when I was starting out. All right. Leg day part 2 will come later on, after we get all this happening. Into the oven it must go. It is looking really good. I'm so happy with it. Oh, can you see that? Deliciousness waiting to be baked. Okay, so I'm gonna go get my cake tins and get this stuff in there, and it's gonna go in the oven at a temperature that Ben has ordained for the time he has set out, which I will check again in the recipe and report back. I've got my tins, and there is one ingredient I forgot to add, which is the mixed peel, the mixed citrus peel. So it's never too late to correct your wrongs. Let's do that. And a pinch of salt. So let's get that happening. Maybe a little bit more. 125 grams, which is going to be about this much. I like a little bit of mixed peel. I think it's a nice flavor. So let's go with that. And then we can mix that through. Lovely. It's such a dense and heavy mixture now that you need to use quite a bit of strength to get in there. At Christmas time this year, I'm actually going to go down and be by the beach at one of those big four parks with my family. I'm really looking forward to chilling out. Not getting up too much, but some sand and surf. Okay, I've got 2 tins because I made a mega cake that's just too much goodness to be confined to 1 tin. Now I've got to somehow get this into the cake tins, which I might have to stand up for actually. It's going to be wild. Alright. It's okay. It's okay. Some Christmas cake may need to be sacrificed on its way there, but we'll try very hard to have 100% cake retention. Leave no sultana behind. Because we all know that this is actually going to end up smashed into rumbles, I'm less concerned that we have a beautiful leveled cake to finish with, which takes a lot of pressure off. Being precise about this. Oh! Look at that. That's great. That's great. I might pop the rest in here and then go back to this one. This one's good. Do a couple more All right, Mr. Mini Spatula, it's time to do your thing and get to work. So, my neighbour's dog has escaped. Not sure if you can hear. All right, there we have it. I'm very happy with that. 2 Christmas cake tins have been filled. It's looking good. It's looking great. Just kind of level it off. Wouldn't hurt, would it? Some precision. Some attempt at neatness. All right, that will do. So that's going in the oven for, I think we're gonna go with 2 hours because I've split it into 2 cakes. Otherwise it was one big high one before at 140 degrees Celsius. So I'll be back to do some cake smashing and chocolate mixing, rum balling. See you later. Okay, it's time for the final act in this epic Christmas cake chocolate rum ball recipe. And this is how the cake turned out. I'm gonna have to let Ben know that his cooking time estimates are a little bit off. I mean, the recipe said 4 hours for the whole cake combined, which I don't know, seems a little bit excessive. Mine was halved in terms of the dimensions because I put it into 2 tins, remember? And I think 1.5 hours was perfect at 140. So this is kind of how it's turned out. You see? Okay. I'm gonna get it off the base. Ooh! I'm happy with how that turned out. So I know Christmas cake is a lot higher. For us, since we're not going to be serving it whole, we're going to be smashing it up. It's not really going to matter, is it? So what's next? It's time to melt some dark chocolate. I'm gonna go get my pot, so I'll be right back. Just a moment. I can't quite remember how much chocolate to use. So we're gonna eyeball it and mix it in until the texture seems pretty good. There's 600 grams of dark chocolate here. Let's get cracking. All right, this has come to a boil, so I'm gonna do the double boiling method. Just lower that down. That's perfect. Let's crack open the chocolate and get going. Okay. I find that the flavor of good dark chocolate goes so well with Christmas cake. Has a very similar profile. Cherry tartness from the fruit, stone fruits. Goes amazingly. I wonder if people are going to get upset by the fact that I made a Christmas cake that I ruin. I enhance. You can do whatever you want. It's your food. You made it. Glorious. Okay, that's 300 grams. What do you think, guys? 5 packets or 6 packets? More chocolatey or more cakey is the question. I think they ran out of the standard 70% lint and gave me smooth blend. Not sure what the difference is really. Somebody knows, you can tell me. What kind of chocolate is your favorite? What is the order of ranking? I'm actually going to use the full 600 grams, 6 packets, and I hope that's enough. I like dark chocolate most, although sometimes you just want more of that mild sugary hit, so there's a place for milk chocolate. Let's not hate on milk chocolate. The question is there a place for white chocolate? Okay. So we'll let that, I've got my mini spatula action back again. We'll let the chocolate come to full melt, and then we will combine some crushed Christmas cake in there. So I might get started on the cake destruction. Let's gently move that over here. All right. What tools have I got? I brought my potato masher and a knife. So I want to use this one, my favorite knife, from my dear sister Amanda and Colin. Thank you very much. Still going strong. Okay, might chop it up first. I haven't done this for a couple of years. I've only made this once, so let's rumble. Would you like a slice? I do have some custard in the fridge. Do those things go together? It's warm too, so it's kind of like a pudding right now. It looks beautiful. I'm very happy with how it turned out. I might keep the other one in cake form and just do this one. It smells amazing. Nothing beats your own homemade Christmas cake. It's wonderful. The house smells wonderful. So what I'm going to do is just roughly chop it up. I think that will make my life easier to smash it all down. Let's not be too ambitious. Let's just start with that amount and pop that into the bowl. I don't really even think I need a potato masher. Got a little bit too excited there. This is starting to crumble up quite well. Anyways, it's very tender. This is a completely nut-free recipe, although feel free for those wanting a bit of that milky chewiness to put in some blanched almonds. I think typically that is what you'll find in Christmas cake. All right, so I'm just going to lift this piece. Lift this piece as well and pop it over here for now because I need to put this in the bowl. this amount of dried fruit, rum, Christmas cake joy is surely going to conjure up, Santa any moment now. Sorry, some cake just came sliding across. I'm gonna put my Christmas lights on. I'm gonna put some Mariah Carey on. I'll lay it down. I'll lay it down as a track. Get her Christmas album happening. I think the Sia one is not too bad either. Nothing says it's that time of the year. That time of the year. Like all I want for Christmas. And tell you what, I can never get sick of it. Do you guys watch the same things every year as part of the Christmas ritual? Love Actually. What's the other one that comes out? The Holiday with Jack Black and Cameron Diaz. It's another popular cyclical watch. Okay, I'm gonna grab this other chunk and we'll finish up with this one. How's the chocolate going? It's getting there. Turning into a liquidy, luxurious pool. Goodness. All right, let's repeat. You know, it's quite a time investment making this recipe. It's been going on for quite a while, but I promise you, it wasn't too hard. And the results are going to be epic. I'm planning to give these away as gifts. I couldn't possibly mow through them through the holidays, even if I tried. They do store really well as well in the freezer, so you could continue to enjoy Christmas festive magic throughout the year. Pop one in your mouth, let it rain Santa. So yes, these make great gifts as well. Ben Shewry saw this. I'm not sure what he would say about me butchering his recipe. But I have to thank Ben for a really amazing recipe. This has turned out to be one of my favorite Christmas cakes that I've made. I've tried a couple of recipes. The BBC pumps out a few good ones, and you know, I like to support all things Australian. So I was very intrigued to see this recipe, and it's wonderful. Okay, once again, I think I'm gonna have to put it into 2 bowls. I'm not sure it's gonna fit. We'll see how we go, okay? I've got a lot of cake because I kind of just did whatever with the measurements. So for today's viewing pleasure, I will stick to a batch just stick to one batch that I can get through. And we'll start with that. If we need more cake, we know where to grab it. So let me just put that over here. Okay. Now let's check up on the chocolates. See how that's going. Can't wait to get that out. It's getting there. Probably just another couple of minutes. And then we'll be able to stir the cake through that. What have you got planned for Christmas? What have you got planned for the holidays? Will you be having a nice relaxing break, or working through. Hope you're not working through, but if you are, thank you for your services. Okay, delightful. Shall I show you? Not burn my hands. Can you see that? Melted dark chocolate. I suppose you could just eat that. You know, maybe you don't want any Christmas cake. Maybe this whole thing was just to melt a whole bunch of dark chocolate, sit down alone in the corner and eat it. I'm not going to judge. Let's mix this through. So for the visuals, let's put it in here like that. All this lovely, beautiful Attica grade Christmas cake. Combine lovingly, gratefully, gently. So the crumbs are getting nice and mixed into the melted chocolates. I'm having to think about the ratios, how I feel about the ratios. Very chocolatey, very chocolatey. Probably needed to be a bit more cakey because the chocolate, when it comes back cool to room temperature, it's gonna harden. So I think a little bit more cake will keep it moist and soft, so when you have a bite, it'll have a pleasing mouthfeel. How about that? Are you happy with that? How do people feel about glacé cherries? Did I pronounce that correctly? I've never heard anybody say it in real life. Glacé. Privately, I enjoy them. I think it's because it's this pop of sweet, sticky sweetness, and I mean, that sounds good. They don't have any particular flavor. They don't taste like cherries, but I quite like the texture of them. Sort of slightly chewy. And I was thinking maybe I should put one in the middle of each of these. I'm uncertain, especially since I'm gifting. I don't know how the general public at large feels about these cherries, these glacé cherries. What I might do is I might do half of them with them, half of them not. Ooh, it's coming together. Very dense, very epic mound of chocolatey Christmas cake laced with rum. I did have a little bit of rum left over from the dried fruit bath, so you know, I could re-spike it. I'll have a think. This is definitely not for the kiddies. I'm sorry, children. What do you think about this texture? It's looking really good. Should I put more cake in it? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna put the rest of the cake in and call it a day. Let's just go for it. Let's take action. Let's be decisive. Let's chop this up. And in we go. Is anyone making gingerbread this year? Gingerbread house? I made it last year and it was really fun. And then we forgot to eat it. We just sat there for the week. That was sad. So this year, I'm gonna make gingerbread men instead and decorate them. Much easier to eat. Okay, this is perfect. This is fudgy. It's got that texture of cookie dough, which is what we're looking for, kind of a moist cookie dough. And I know that when it sets and cools, it will stay that texture. And that's what I'm actually looking for. So that's looking really good. It smells tremendous. Can you imagine? I hope you can imagine. Whew, smells good. Okay, so you want all the cake crumbs to be drenched in the chocolate, soaked in it, so it's all covered. It would be sad if anybody missed out. So we have to get that chocolatey goodness equally throughout. And I think I have done my part in that and unified my ingredients. And there we have it, my friends. Our mix is ready to roll up. My Christmas cake with dark chocolate is ready to shape into little rum balls. So I will clear this up a little bit and make some space and get into that action. I don't know whether you need to watch me make every single ball. We'll see how we go. There's quite a lot of cake mixture here. If you're happy to stay, I'm happy to chat to you. What are you doing right now? Are you having dinner? Eating lunch? Coiled up under the sheets? 2 a.m. On the train. Brushing your teeth. I do my YouTube watching at all moments. I like to watch people eat when I'm eating. I find that kind of oddly fun to do. I used to do that a lot. Mukbang. Okay. So the next step is to create some lovely rum balls. Obviously, have clean hands, as you should too, before you participate in this. This gets quite messy. What you need to do is you want to make something that's the size that's smaller than a golf ball. And I believe this is it. Something like that. So cute. And we're going to make this all along. You have to imagine what would be a nice serving, nice bite-sized serving for where you want to make the person feel like that was perfect. That was a really nice little morsel. I suppose I could go another. That's the size you're going for. I'll only have one, but you end up having two sizes. These are coming together really nicely. I feel like playing some Mariah. I regret now not putting it on. Is it too late? Siri, play Mariah Carey. Oh no, don't interrupt my filming. Okay. Just a little bit left over. There you have it, a lovely tray of Christmas cake chocolate rum balls. I will let that cool a bit and then decorate it. Okay. All right, time for the very last step in making these, decorating our delicious rum balls. So I have only selected the very finest glacé cherries from my packet. And by that I mean the ones that most resemble a whole cherry. They're so beautiful. And I'd say these make up 1/3 of the packet only. So the special group. And what I've gone and done is taken out some of that leftover rum that was bathing mixed fruit, just to pump up the flavor a little bit. So these have been soaking in that delicious dried fruit rum mixture for a little bit, so they should pop. And I have been melting down the white chocolate. And what's happened though is I wasn't watching it properly. So the boiling water's actually been touching the bottom of the bowl, which is a bit of a no-no, and it's caused the chocolate to seize up a little bit, which means I might have a little bit of a challenging time capping my rum balls as festively as I intended to. However, we shall try our best and make do, okay? It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Everyone will just have a little bit less, I think. Okay. So what we'll do is grab a little bit like this, just enough to, I think, top it with a cherry. And got my trusty chopsticks here. Let's do that. Perfection! Can you see? That's one. Now, I've got 32 to do, so let's power through this. This is actually very relaxing work. You know those mandala coloring in exercise books that became quite popular? Are they still popular? Are adults still using them? You sit down and color these little intricate pictures in as a form of mindfulness, otherwise known as just getting out of your head and focusing on something very much in the present, which is something that a lot of people struggle with because the monkey mind is racing, always thinking about having so much stimuli, thinking about something else, what you have to do next, and not actually just taking the very moment in. And the great thing about activities like cooking and baking, crafty things, you have to focus. On the task at hand. turning out beautifully. I'm really pleased. Other things that are really good for being ultra present, unable to be distracted. Exercise, any form of it. You can't exactly be squatting in the rack with plates either side of you and be distracted. You might seriously injure yourself. Or I imagine martial arts and BJJ is a lot like that as well. You know, you have to really be there in the moment, or your opponent will take you down. I want to try BJJ sometime, but apparently you have to take all your jewelry out from your ears and everything. And one of mine hasn't healed properly yet, so I can't do it. I can't do it anytime soon. I used to do a lot of meditation. And when I say a lot, I just mean I kept up a daily practice to get better at quietening my mind. And it was actually the challenge of letting go of running thoughts that I got the most out of it. It didn't bring me any spiritual peace or connectedness with myself or a higher order power or anything like that. It was just this dedicated time where I would be aware of how impossible it seemed to just stop thinking about thinking. And after a little while, one did actually get better at being able to be free of all these racing thoughts. Some of my friends have told me that they would like my videos to be longer and for me to keep talking because it helps them fall asleep. And I'm going to take it as a compliment. It's not code for I'm batshit boring. No. It's code for you're relaxing me. This is relaxing me. That's what it is. On the theme of Christmas, so there are two things I haven't had very good renditions of, and that is mince pie, that fruit mince pie. What is going on with that? But I've only had supermarket mince pie. No, that's not true. I've also had, no, that's not true at all. I've had some mince pie from really great bakeries in Melbourne, and the short crust was really nice. It's just something a little peculiar about the fruit mince mixture that I haven't acquired a taste for it yet. Does anybody like mince pie? That's something Christmassy, because I quite like everything Christmassy, to be honest. I love custard, I love trifle. So I'm surprised I haven't really taken to mince pie. The other one is plum pudding. Pudding sounds amazing. Pudding and warm pudding with hot custard sounds amazing. And yet, yes, I don't believe I've had a plum pudding that I would rave about. And I think I've had gourmet ones. Interestingly, there's no plum in plum pudding. So somebody needs to tell me the genesis of that word and why it's fake news. But I do want to tackle plum pudding one day. That seems fun. It's pretty interesting that it's a cakey boil. All right, that's a wrap, fam. We did it. You've made it to the end with me. So there we have it. We've got a beautiful array of Christmas cake, chocolate rumbles, and the last thing that we need to do is just pop them into some decorative patty cake thingies, which will make them really nice to gift out. But I think we're gonna call it a day. We're gonna call it a wrap here. I don't really feel like doing a taste test right now. I'm gonna have some savory food first or something. But if you would like me to, I can eat one of my rumbles and tell you how it is. I might just eat one of those ones over there that I haven't decorated yet, okay? And leave these ones untouched, the gifting ones. Oh, don't fall down. I'm so proud of how these turned out. They're so cute. My children, go out into the world. Okay, I'll put these here, and then I'll bring one over and we'll have a little bit of an impromptu taste test, okay? Okay, so this is one that I have in reserve, but I actually feel like I should decorate mine just the way I have done for everybody else, so I can get the full effect. And my Christmas cake chocolate rumble will just be a little bit on the unset side, in the sense that the white chocolate part is still not set. Whew. Okay. I need a cup of tea. Can somebody make me a cup of tea? I'm one of those people that love a hot cup of tea with their cake. I know you want to. That's the thought that counts. All right, let's go. It's Christmas bliss. It's super rich. I'm trying to get it off my teeth because it's so, hasn't set yet. It's very fudgy. Just gonna have a bit more. What I really like about it is the dark chocolate and the fruits have a tartness. The stone fruits are really a bit tart, and the raisins as well. And it helps balance out the high level of, there's a lot of sugar in this from raisins and sultanas and all that dried fruit. But it doesn't actually taste overbearing. It tastes very sophisticated. Really good. I didn't mean to eat, I don't really want to eat the whole thing right now. But, so good. It's so good that I might end up doing that. I really hope you try it. It was quite epic, but it is well worth it. Look, here's a dried cherry. I'm going to have to eat that one. Smash hit. Delicious. Bit sour. Yummy. Merry Christmas, everybody. I hope you have a safe, festive, restful, restorative holidays with yourself, with your loved ones. I hope it's been a really good year for you. And even if it hasn't been the best of years, I'm sure that it can and will get better. I believe in you. And thank you for tuning in. It's really nice to cook with you and have a chat with you. I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a good